Hi, dear students. Welcome to Social Science online class. In the last history class, we have learned the life of people in prehistoric age. Today, in this session, we are going to learn about ancient civilizations of India. The most advanced stage of human society is called a civilization. In this chapter, you learn ancient civilizations of India. First, urbanization, special features of the cities, town planning, lifestyle, and the decline of towns. The developments of Vedas, types of Veda, and Vedic period. As we learned in the prehistoric age, men led a nomadic life. They were food gatherers and hunters. After the introduction of agriculture, life of people changed drastically in ancient time. The agriculture led to the emergence of a settled life and later emergence of family, villages, states and many civilizations emerged. Nomadic life became stable. Archaeologists have come across sign of huts and houses in some places. They have excavated a cellar in Bursohum in Kashmir. People of those times used to dig shallow pits in the soil and live in them. There were steps leading to the pits. These were built in this manner in order to provide protection from the cold weather and wild animals. Earthen pots have been found inside and outside such pits in accordance to the weather condition. People cooked food either inside or outside. There is a site named Meherga near the fertile plain of Bolan Pass, which leads to Iran. The people of Meherga were the first ones to have learned the cultivation of barley and wheat crops and the rearing of goat and sheep. This is the first village that has come to our notice. The people of Meherga lived in houses. Some houses had 4 or more rooms. Many sites have been discovered here which not only have the fossils of animals but also graves. People and animals used to be buried together here. The first urbanization. The famous Indus Valley Civilization was discovered for the first time at Mohenjodharo and Harappa. The ancient sites of Harappa were discovered by the engineers when the railway lines were being laid 150 years ago in the Sindhu Valley region of Punjab. In 1920, Dharamsani identified the site of Harappa town. In 1922, R.D. Banerjee of the Archaeological Survey of India located the town Mohenjodharo. The engineers who laid railway lines thought that it was a mound made of excellent bricks. They utilized the bricks for the construction of railway lines. In this way, many houses which had been buried under the soil were destroyed. Subsequently, archaeologists took up research in this area. They were convinced that it was an ancient city. Since the sites around the city resembled the sites discovered earlier, they were called the Harappan Civilization. These sites are said to be 4,600 years old. The significance of the cities. We can see two or more parts in the cities of Harappa. The western part is narrow and at an elevated place. Archaeologists are of the view that this was a citadel. The eastern part is wide and at a lower level. This area has been called the lower town. Every part had a wall made of burned bricks. Since the bricks around them were placed in an interlocking manner, the walls were very strong. There were noteworthy buildings inside the citadel. Mohenjo-daro, one of the cities, had a water tank. Scholars have called this as the bath tank. It is built of bricks so as to prevent the seepage of water from the tank. The bath tank has steps on either sides to go down and has rooms all around. The water was probably supplied to the tank by a well, and the used water was let out. Probably very important people used to take bath in this pool on special occasions. Fire altars have been discovered in other cities like Kalibangan and Lothal. Mohenjodharo, Harappa and Lothal had constructed systematic granaries. Town planning. The lower town is the low-lying area of the city, was the place of habitation of the people. It was constructed in a very methodical manner, systematically laid out houses, roads and drains can be seen here. Almost every person lived in either one or two storied houses. The houses were built of bricks and had strong walls. There were rooms all around the courtyard inside. The main door faced the street. None of the windows opened onto the street. There were bathrooms in the houses. Some houses had well which supplied water. The city had a neatly laid out underground sewage system. The drains were built of bricks and covered with stone slabs. The gutter of each house was linked to the main drain outside and enabled the flow of dirty water from the houses to the main drain. Holes were created in the drains to enable timely cleaning of them. Town life. Apart from houses, precious stones and metals were also found. Most of the objects found were beads and seals. The layout of the town reveals the existence of administrative class. The people of this place may have used expensive metals, gems and jewelry. The beads were probably used by the common people. There is an unknown script on the seals. This reveals that there was no dearth of literate people. This enabled the engravings of script on thousands of seals. The people of Harappan culture had depended on agriculture and trade. Wheat, barley, pulses, and mustard were their main crops. They had learned to grow cotton and weave clothes from it. We can say that they knew irrigation since many towns were situated on the bank of rivers. The people of this time domesticated animals like bull, cow, buffalo, sheep, goat, dog, and hen. They were engaged in cattle rearing, sheep rearing, and poultry. Oxen were used to carry heavy loads. Trade and commerce had assumed primary importance along with agriculture. The towns carried on business with rural areas. Balochistan, Saurashtra, and Deccan were some of these areas. The seal obtained at Mesopotamia established the fact that the Indus Valley Civilization had trade relation with Mesopotamia. Decline of the towns. The situation in these places began to change some 4,000 years ago. There were reasons apart from natural reasons. The walls of the Harappan fort were further strengthened. Towards the final days of this town, its west gate was closed completely. The spacious rooms of Mohenjodharo became smaller. Huge buildings turned into huts. Neither the town planning nor the roads planning were systematic at this time. Historians have given various explanations for the decline of these towns. Some feel the dried rivers as the reason, and others feel that changed course of river was the reason. Other historians have cited the destruction of forest as the reason. Probably inundation by floods could be the reason. People living in Indus Valley and some sides of West Punjab might have deserted the area and migrated to new areas in the east and south. This civilization survived in Lothal town of Gujarat for some more years. The Indus Valley Civilization has remained an evidence of maturity of the Indian civilization.